and then we'll get started with Firdaus. Just a reminder, please, to maintain the mutedness of your devices when you're not asking a question, and also to please ask one question at a time, so that we'll be able to give everyone a fair chance to get a question in. Firdaus, we'll start with you, followed by Tianis.
Thank you. Hi, Dean. Well played. Dean, what does it say about the depth of this South African team that you were able to win a match in such an emphatic way without the players that you're missing?
Yeah, look, that's always something that we've been trying to work to strengthen, and I think exposing guys at this level or to this level is the one way of obviously getting that pool of depth a little bit deeper. That has been an area that we have maybe struggled in, but we have had a few opportunities to get guys in and obviously expose them to this level. The only way you actually get a taste or feeling with regards to this level is by the exposure. Yeah, I think we're getting there with regards to it. I don't think we're totally there yet. I think we've still got maybe another season or two to go that can actually really reassure our minds of being 100% confident with regards to having quite a big pool. So yeah, that is still a work in progress. But saying that, guys have obviously experienced the taste now of Test cricket and what Test cricket demands, and the kind of nature of cricket you have to play in order to get a victory. So yeah, but yeah, we're still working on it, and it is something we're very conscious about, and yeah, it's still a work in progress, no doubt.
Dennis?
Hi, Dean, congratulations. Would you be able to say now that maybe having those IPL guys not here could be a blessing in disguise, because now you had the opportunity to sort of see what Keshav and Harmer can also do when they play together?
Look, I think conditions obviously forced my hand, forced our hands, selectors' hand in obviously selecting the side like we did. I think if we still played in the Highveld, playing one spinner would have been the only option, but you're playing in Durban, and you got to obviously see what the nature of playing is like at the specific venue. But yeah, how awesome was it to see two spin bowlers bowling together in tandem and have it on a string and absolutely dominating the opposition, which was something that we've always wanted to see. And yeah, it was great to see both of them competing at such a high level. I think most batting attacks or batting lineups would have had a tough task against both of them. But yeah, it's horses for courses at the moment, and I think even with the IPL guys, if they were available, Keshav and Harmy would have operated together still in quite a big capacity, in a sense of they would have bowled most of our overs with regards to a percentage point of view. But yeah, awesome to have both of them there competing at such a high level, and just the pure skill level and intensity that they brought and consistency was something amazing to witness.
After Ken, Stuart, Telford, Kanyisa, and then we'll close with Firdaus with Dean.
Thanks. Congratulations, Dean. I know, I mean, you've just said that Harmer and Maharaj probably would have played together, whatever the circumstances, but there was still enough in that pitch for seamers to do a bit. We saw that with Bangladesh. How much does it speak about the change in mindset of the Proteas team? That I think, whereas in the past, you know, it would have been the seamers who would have opened the bowling, and that probably would have been your first port of call. How much does it speak to the change in mindset that you were so reliant on the spinners?
I think the style of captaincy that I'm trying to expose our players to, and just to get them familiar with the way I want to play the game of cricket now, Test cricket particularly, is about playing positive, ruthless, making bold, brash decisions, and also putting players out of their comfort zones. That was purely a gut feel of mine. That was not influenced by the coaching staff whatsoever. They kind of allow me to do me during game time. In saying that, they still give you a lot of advice along the way. So that was purely a mindset I want to see players put their hand up and make a massive impact for the team, irrespective of what kind of conditions you're in. But yeah, in saying that, I could have bowled a seamer, but I wanted the guys to be ruthless. It's a style of cricket that I'm trying to develop. I want guys to follow it as well. I know you get there, and I think I was getting there with the previous squad we had. But in saying that, we've got a new squad now, and it's about exposing those guys to the kind of level that I expect the guys to be playing at. It's not always going to work, but it's about being repetitive. It's about being on the same page. It's about the consistency with regards to being fair to the players as well. But yeah, that's purely my decision out of, I want the positivity out of, for every guy to be speaking the same language going forward.
Stuart?
Thanks, Sipakazi. Well played, Dean. Just on your batting, particularly in the second innings, just how concerning was that to have that big collapse, and what are the lessons you want the batters to take out of that?
I think intensity is what we were lacking there. I think a lot of guys need to wake up and realize that Test cricket demands intensity, whether you got the ball in hand or bat in hand. Even at the start of your innings, you need to be up at a certain level, whether it's being in good positions and having good body language, or even just a pure thing of running between the wickets, which can always intensify your innings, or set a level of intensity in your innings. So I think we lacked in that, and I think maybe the inexperience of players, we've got to be mindful of that. There was a guy on Test debut as well, and maybe one or two guys that have played a handful of Tests, so that are maybe not quite familiar around that kind of role play, but they will get there. And it's important for us as senior players and coaching staff to still speak that language to those players around the small little game plans that they require for Test cricket. So I wasn't too concerned. I was actually glad it happened, just to expose the guys to that kind of level of where they were maybe lacking or where they can be a lot better, because that's a matter of scoring another 30, 40 runs in a session. And in conditions like this, when you've maybe only got 3.5 sessions to bowl a team out, better batting lineups will most probably get through those sessions, and the Test will end in a draw. So it's about just awareness and exposing players to those kind of scenarios. We were fortunate enough, we had quite a lot of runs in the bank, but I still wanted to get more runs because that's the style of cricket that we want to play going forward. So yeah, it's just purely the intensity out of that, and more times than none, if your intensity is at a right level, your batting is going to be at a higher level as well. So yeah, it was definitely not a bad thing that it happened like that. It was good exposure for everyone.
How's Dean?
Hi.
Hi, very well played as a batter and obviously as a captain. We noticed that you took yourself out of the slip cordon after you'd dropped a catch, and I'd like to think that's a very positive comment on your captaincy. You know, I'm obviously off my game in this regard today. Get somebody else in there. Is that fair to say?
Purely that. I think if you look at the 4 guys that's standing there, I must probably have weaker catching hands or skills out of those 3 guys. I knew it's never going to be like a 3 slips, 1 gully. If it was a 3 slip, 1 gully kind of wicket, I would have gone back in there. But I think if you want to win games, you need to put your ego aside, and you need to do what's best for the side. It was also a good opportunity for me to go stand next to the bowler, speak to the bowler as well. But yeah, I think as it worked out, it worked out nicely for us, and it definitely doesn't. Dropping a catch is fine. I don't mind that, but yeah, it's all good in my opinion. I'll definitely see myself back in there if it's a 3 slip 1 gully kind of pitch. But Kingsmead kind of dictates that you don't really need that kind of slip cordon, and you need your best guys with the best hands behind the stumps.
Tanya, sir?
Thank you very much, Sipokazi. Indeed, good morning. I need to say good afternoon. Congratulations on your first win as a player at Kingsmead. How does it feel, considering that you've been through the motions at Kingsmead, at provincial level, and at Test level as a player? Yeah,
I've caught quite a few hidings at Kingsmead, especially in first-class cricket. A few Test matches that we've lost here. I think out of the 4 or 5, this is the first one I've been a part of the winning side, which is not great, but it's still nice to know that we've had the upper hand in this one, so it's nice to have a victory on our side. Yeah, been here, caught a few hide-ins along the way at Kingsmead, especially against the Dolphins in 4-day cricket here, which has only really happened towards the latter part of my career. But yeah, it's nice to get a victory at Kingsmead.
And finally, for those.
Thank you. Yeah, Dean, just on that, would you say that the national side likes Kingsmead again, and with these conditions you were happy with? You want to come back here?
Look, it's not the style of cricket that we generally used to or want to play. But I think it shows a lot of character with regards to adapting to being put in situations or conditions that we're not familiar with. So I think it shows a lot of strength within our group that we have the resources to adapt. We still want to play the high felt kind of cricket where you're playing 3 seamers all round and a spinner and a world-class spinner. And yeah, we still want to have that style where fast bowling is our prime source of attack. But saying that, we have to adapt as international cricketers. We play quite a bit of cricket in the sub now. So it was great to expose ourselves, our bowling attack, to having 2 spinners operate in tandem. There's so many positives out of that. Yeah, so there's a lot of good things that happened in the last 5 days for us.
Thanks very much, everyone. Please stand, stay.
Bye.
Please stand.